Yes. So in this session, we will discuss how we can go for create a transaction in account receivables module. Once the transaction is created, how we will go for collect amounts from the customer, and then how we will go for deposit in the bank, and then how it is going to be cleared. So we'll take a small scenario here. Whenever we are working in the projects, regularly we'll be getting this type of scenarios. Let's say the customer is asking for multiple receipts. Now we are going to write the transaction $10,000. That's the transaction we are going to raise, and customer is going to pay $5,000 cash, which is immediate clearing. It should be clearing without remittance, and another 5,000 we are going to have $5,000. We want to go with the remittance. It means this is cash receipts we are getting, and then we are going to get $5,000 here. Check. We are going to get $5,000 check, and it should be remitted, and then after that it should be cleared. It should be cleared. So that's the requirement for us. So we have to go with the multiple receipts for the same transaction over here. So one is direct clearing, another one is receipt with remittance, and then go for clearing. Okay. So what we are going to do is I'm going to hire a new employee here first. And then after that, we'll go for add AR roles. And we'll go for add data access. Then we are going to run LDAP process. After that, we'll go for create transaction. And we'll go for complete the transaction here. And we'll search for the transaction, manage transactions. So that is in part one, we are going to discuss about the complete transaction setups. In the part two, what we are trying to do is we are supposed to create a receipt class. Receipt classes. One is direct clear. Another one we have to go for create receipt class. Second receipt class we have to create, which is remitted. Remittance is required. And then we will go for create receipt. One is direct clear. So that will be cleared directly. Okay. So that we'll be receiving $5,000 from customer. That amount will be directly cleared. So that receipt status will be cleared directly. We'll take another part 3 here. So in part 3, what we are going to do is we are going for cash management, because clearing we have to do it manual. Whenever we do the reconciliation in cash management module, automatically it will be cleared. So what we have to do is we have to add cash management role to our employee. After adding the cash management role to the employee, then what we have to do, we have to go for add. We have to go for add the data access. Then we will go for cash management. First, what we have to do, we have to create a bank statement, because you received $5,000 check, and we are going to deposit in the bank, and then we are going to clear. So before we go for bank statement, we have to create a receipt module. After creating the receipt, then we have to go for deposit in the bank. Nothing but remittance. Nothing but remittance. Then we have to go for create a bank statement. And after creating the bank statement, we have to reconcile transaction. Once we reconcile the transaction, then we can see that the receipt will be cleared. So total $10,000 will be received. So this exercise we are going to do it in the 3 parts. So part 1, we are going to have one video where we are going to have the complete transactions. Part 2, we are going to have the receipt setup and receipt creation, automatic clearing. And part 3, we will go for cash management and go for add this particular setups related for the cash management module. Okay, so first we'll go for part 1. So what we'll do is we'll go to setup and maintenance. We are going ahead with US1 BU, US1 business unit. Let's go for financials. Going with new employee here, manage users. And go for here, John, receiver. We are going to say that he is one of the employee for our legal employer, US1 BU, as well as for US1 legal entity. What happened? We are not getting our PU. Okay, in US1 legal entity, it seems it is showing business unit error. Let me cross check. Somebody might have changed US1 business unit legal entity, that we have to check. Go to financials. Where do we cross check the legal entity for BU? Assign business unit. Go to the task here, manage, assign business unit. Sometimes we are not able to get it here. Let's go to global search, assign business unit, business function. This task is disabled. Why it is disabled? Go for change feature options. Somebody might have disabled this. Okay, we are in compensation management. Let me change. Click done button. Come back to financials. Okay, go to in financials, change features. Here we can find. Sometimes you may not find these payables or receivables. Some of the options might be disabled. We need to cross check here. Change feature options here. It means whatever the features are available in these offerings, those are enabled or disabled, we can get it from here. Now we are talking about which module? Receivables module. We are going to, okay, this is about enterprise structure, right? Business unit setup. Business unit setup, why it is disabled here? It's a basic thing, right? Standard setups, financials, features. Yeah, the problem is actually not this one. The reason why we are not having the access to that particular task it is showing disabled is we have not added application implementation consultant role. Administrator role is added. So we have to add application implementation consultant role. So go for edit, add role. Application implementation consultant role, then we will be able to find here. Now go to setups, financials. Assign business unit, business function. Just log out and log in. Still it's not updated. There is some problem. Functionality has been disabled. Yes, the problem is with that user and roles. It's not actually our application task. No issue. What is the problem right now? US1 business unit is not showing in the US1 legal entity. So what is the reason? Everything is fine, right? This is our business unit associated with the US1 legal entity and with the primary ledger. But when we try to hire an employee, we are not getting that, right? That's the problem. Let me cross check once. Let's go to the task, manage users. We are trying to hire a new employee. Choose the person type as employee and choose legal employer. US1 business, sorry, US1 legal entity. Then we are supposed to get, yes, now it is working. So that is a problem with that user login. Actually, that user does not have the roles, proper roles. So now I'm mentioning John receiver. This is the username. Let's go for assign to US1 legal entity and US1 business unit. So hiring process has completed successfully. Let's go for assign the roles to the user. To tools menu, security console here. Users tab here and search for this. We want to raise the invoice first. Okay, transaction we want to go for create. So let's go for add the role called accounts receivable manager. Accounts receivable specialist. These two roles are required to work with both transaction as well as the receipt. Okay, let's go for save and close. If we look at our business flow, we have done all this one by one. Add roles is done. Now we are going for data access. We are going to complete the data access here. Click done button. Go to FSM environment. Let's go to financials over here. Now we are going to provide the data access to the user. Account receivables means business unit is the security, right? Data access for users. This is our username, and we have two roles: receivables manager, select business unit, and US1 BU. Select second role, business unit. Let's save and close. After providing the data roles, then we must run the LDAP process. Sometimes this LDAP process will be scheduled, or even if someone submitted this LDAP process, no problem, it will update our users. In the interviews also, they'll ask us why we required a LDAP process, what it will do in the background. So it is going to synchronize the users and roles information. In the name itself, we can find the program name, process name, what it we'll call it as LDAP process, lightweight directory access protocol. Internally, what it will do, synchronize users, roles, and roles grants, privileges, all the information it is going to combine, synchronize that information, submit. Sometimes you will be getting error message here, no problem. Even if you get error message, you can see that message here. The process, this process will be queued up for submission at position 1. It means it's waiting for another user. Somebody might have submitted. Where do we find the result for this LDAP process? Scheduled. Go to tools menu, scheduled process. Here we can find. Okay, it is showing that right now it is blocked. So we cannot expect the result. But let's see, it is blocked right now because multiple users might have submitted. Sometimes it will be blocked and released automatically as yes. Some other programs are running. Let's see. Okay, we'll just log out and log in with that user. This is not actually the functional or technical job. It's purely a DBA activity which will be taken care by Oracle in the cloud. If it is on premises, generally Oracle, our DBAs will take care. If it is cloud, Oracle will do that. John underscore receiver. Go to navigator. The role will automatically apply. So for role attachment, we don't need LDAP process. LDAP process is required only for data access. So the role will be applied. That's not a problem. But whether you got the data access LDAP has completed successfully or not based on your data. See, now you are able to get the data. It means internally it has completed successfully. Now we are going to raise the invoice. Now we are going to create a transaction for $10,000 for our customer. We can take the new customer or we'll go ahead with existing customer. Let me go ahead with this create a transaction, or you can create a customer also here. So let me create a new customer. So customer means it will ask what type of customer. Is it person or organization? Person means individual, because the organizations will sell the goods to the individual people, means persons, or they can sell the goods to the organization also. So that can be anything. So I'm going to say that it's for organization. I'm mentioning that this customer name is, let's say, RTL customer of the customer account information, account. I'm going to specify. Now go down here, and here account address set. This is very important. We must remember which reference data set is assigned for your BU. By default, it will be cust site. You cannot go with common here. It's one of the important question in the interviews. If I search with common set here, we don't find common set here. We'll find cust site. I'm not getting even that also. What is the reason? You don't have FSM access. Let's do the customer setup from FSM environment. The current employee does not have the access to FSM. Login with employee who is having the access to FSM. We'll cross check over there. First, we'll see which reference data set is assigned for customer account site. Let's go to financials, business unit. Go to the task, manage business unit, set assignment. We are already in the scope of our business unit. This is related for customer. Press customer account site. What is the reference data set? Cust site. Cust site is the reference data set. So that whenever you are trying to create customer here, customer account site, then we are supposed to choose that reference data set here. So go for create customer. I'm not getting common set, as I said. Only the reference data set, whatever we got, that will be assigned here. Cust site and RTL site. I'm going to make this site purpose is both billing as well as shipping, so that we can ship the goods to customer as well as we can send the bill also. First, we have to make it as a billing address. Then only we can go for make this as a shipping address. So what we have to do is, let's go for this is ship to, and then we'll go for this as billing address we can choose. We got some refreshment issue. Let me go back and see. There is some server issues, as it is Vision instance. Somebody might have working on the same task. That could be the reason. So by default for the customer, we will see the profile class. Default profile class will be associated. We don't need to go for it. So we are going to log in with our employee, John Receivables. So raise the invoice now. We are going to raise the invoice for this here. Description I'm mentioning it is main invoice. Quantity 1, $10,000. Let's go for save this transaction. This is our transaction number, but it is incomplete status right now. So we are supposed to go for set the complete status. We have to go for complete and review. So that system will cross check any other setups are. Now we can find tax also is calculated here. 8% it seems tax is there. So this is based on your county and state. So whatever the tax territory tax is calculated, based on that we'll get it here. This standard tax. Total invoice amount is $10,800. That's the invoice amount. What is the invoice status now? Complete. Go for save and close. So we have completed the transaction. Now we can search for the transaction and find the status, whether any amount we have received or not. 70765. Still we have not received any amount. We are just cross-checking that. Transaction number 70765 and click search button. And we will find over here, click on this. Actions, go for balance details. Now we can find here, what is the total invoice amount, how much balances are there. So this is going to show us how much amount we have received so far. Any credits or refunds are applied in your transaction. Any adjustments are done. Any future dates payments from the customer. It means post-dated checks you might have received from the customer. Any discounts you have given to your customer. So we'll find the complete information in our entered currency. So if you want to go for an accounting currency also, we can view that in accounting currency. So at this point of time, we have not done anything. It means we have not received anything from the customer. We'll see that in the second part. Okay. Thank you.